Hola amigos, I thought I'd just do a little video to check in because I was having one of those weeks that I know a lot of authors have when we just are feeling really frustrated because there's so much that we want to do. We've got a list of things that not only that we're writing, but marketing that we need to do, blog posts that we need to write, all of the other things that go into being an author nowadays. And sometimes if we're not full-time authors, we don't have the time to do all these things and there just aren't enough hours in the day. And that is what has been happening to me at the moment. Our family is incredibly busy for the next few weeks. Our two oldest sons are sitting exams over about the next 6 weeks, and they're back and forth to Swansea to the exam centre there, which is about an hour and 15 minutes drive away. So that's taking up a lot of our time, taking them there and back, as well as obviously helping them to do last minute revision and teaching their younger brothers as well, who are also home educated. On top of that, our dog Hector hasn't been too well for the last week or so, which is obviously a worry and is meaning that he's needing to come everywhere with us because we don't want to leave him alone. So that's an extra factor that we're having to add into all that. And our internet has been absolutely dreadful. We've had to have a new Wi-Fi hub delivered, which hasn't been properly set up. So that has been a complete pain to work with. So I've got a few things that I do when there are times like this and when I'm getting frustrated to try to help me so that I can focus on what absolutely needs to get done and make sure that I'm moving ahead with those things. So the first thing is a pretty obvious one, and I'm sure that you would do this anyway, but it is to make a list. It's just to do a brain dump and get all of these jobs that you need to get done down on a list, and then look at that list and work out which ones actually have to get done within a certain period of time. I normally try to do this at the beginning of each week and not overload myself for that week. There's no point in being unrealistic about how much you're going to get done. So say, there's 2 blog posts that I need to write, great, but if one of them doesn't need to be done for another couple of weeks, I won't put that on my list for this week. Obviously, if I finish everything in the week and I've got some spare time, I can move on to that blog post, but if it doesn't happen, then that's also fine. And you know that nothing's going to fall through the cracks then because you've made sure that you've written it all down. The next thing that I do is I just try to make sure that I'm writing something every single day. That's really important to me as an author. Even if it's only a couple of 100 words, it means that things are moving forward and I feel that I'm getting somewhere with my work. This might not mean being able to sit down for an hour or 2 at my computer at any point in the day. Sometimes it means moving on to my third tip, which is carrying a notebook with you everywhere you go. I'm sure, like me, you find that when you're having a busy day and you're out and about doing things, there are plenty of times that you have a few spare minutes when you're hanging around before an appointment or you're waiting in line for something. You would be amazed what you can quickly jot down, the scenes that you can quickly draft out while you're waiting for something else to happen. And it really can help to move your story forward. The next thing is just not to get too down on yourself. There are only so many hours in the day and there's only so much you can do and you have to prioritise. At the moment I'm prioritising my family. My boys have to get to their exams and I have to help them to prepare for those exams. So if that means that not much writing gets done, well, that's just what's going to happen. And then when things calm down again, once the exam period is over, I'll be able to get back into things and hopefully catch up a bit. So that's my final tip, is just to be kind to yourself as well. As well as being realistic, you just must be kind to yourself. Treat yourself like you would someone that you love, because you should love yourself. Be fair to yourself and reward yourself. If you've had a hard day and you really can't manage much writing, see if you can just do kind of 10, 20 minutes and then maybe make yourself a nice coffee or a cup of tea to reward yourself, or have a nice bath or hot shower, whatever it is that you like, or maybe read a book for 15 minutes to unwind at the end of the day. I find that really, really helps. And there will come times when you do have more time to be able to spend on your writing. Maybe it's just not right now. Thank you so much for joining me for this video, and I'm hoping that things will calm down here and I can get properly back to writing as much as I'd like to very soon.